Before we get into the breakdown of what mercy actually means, I want to remind you first that we've walked through the understanding that mercy is like forgiveness. And forgiveness has to be received from God before it can be given away. This comes from the fact that in ourselves we have nothing that we can give to God. If we were able to give anything to God, that would be religion. Us working to try to satisfy the requirements of a holy God. But we are not holy. We cannot do this. Anything that comes from us that is valuable to God actually is birthed in God doing it. Remember John 3. Jesus tells Nicodemus, you must be born again by the Spirit of God. So forgiveness is something that God initiates and we receive. Mercy is something that God initiates and we receive. I remember when I was taking the small catechism class for our confirmation in our Lutheran church at Grace Lutheran in Thiensville, Wisconsin. And one of the things that we needed to know so that we could be confirmed was that we needed to know the definition of mercy and the definition of grace. And we were told that mercy means that I am not receiving what I deserve. And that in grace, I receive what I never earned. So mercy is not receiving what I deserve, punishment, and grace is receiving what I never earned. Something that is lavished on me and I could not earn it. With this definition of mercy, I want to begin with William Barclay. And William Barclay uses the etymology of the Greek word, which is alimon, and it comes from the Hebrew word chesed. I love what William Barclay does here, because in chesed, he tells us that this is really an untranslatable word. In other words, we can't come up with the words to translate it, because it has a deep and powerful meaning. It is not simply sympathy, and it is not simply not receiving punishment or what we deserve. It is way deeper than that. And in the Hebrew, it speaks to the fact that I can hear with the ears of the person, I can see with the eyes of the person, I can think with the mind of the person, I can put myself in the person's situation completely. And if we put these two concepts together, that we're not receiving what we deserve, and the idea that it puts us in the place of completely understanding the other person. When God gives us mercy, He understands completely what we are experiencing and extends grace to us, and that's mercy. Think of it this way. I'm going to share with you this parable that really helps us to unpack mercy.